Babaji, this is childish.
You are a child. Hey, Rabba, my own grandchildren, see?
All right, but that's your son in there.
He is no longer my son.
In the Crown Court today, Mohan Singh Sandhu is accused of murdering his cousin Carter Singh Sandu, an illegal immigrant to Fulchester. The case you're about to see and the characters portrayed are fictional, but the procedure is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the general public.
That's right. I was called out during the afternoon. A body had been found on the railway embankment not far from Eastleigh Common. I went there to make a preliminary examination.
And what were your preliminary conclusions, Professor Neeson?
Well, if I might refer to my notes.
Yes, by all means, Professor.
The body lay in a shallow grave, male, South Asian, aged about 30, fairly well nourished, fully clothed. The shirt and jacket were torn. Minor lacerations to the right forearm, severe bruising to the left temple and to the side of the head. I believe the jury have got photographs of these.
Exhibit 4, my lord.
My estimation is to the time of death up to 10 days previously.
And the body was subsequently identified as that of Carter Singh Sandu, a cousin of the accused.
Yes.
And you subsequently made a post-mortem on that body.
Yes, the post-mortem was conducted in the presence of Superintendent Gaskin. Apart from the evidence of cerebral hemorrhage, there were no internal injuries. The organs were those of a healthy person, apart from minor adhesions to the right lung.
Professor Neeson, you are quite certain about that? A completely healthy person?
Well, a pathologist can't always be certain, but I am absolutely certain about that, yes.
Then what, in your opinion, was the cause of death?
Death was due to the combined effects of shock and brain hemorrhage. The bruising to the side of the head and to the temple were consistent with 2 blows from a large blunt instrument at least 4 inches in diameter.
Yeah. And how would those blows have been struck?
From the front and to the side, I'd say. The lacerations to the forearm and the torn shirt indicate some sort of struggle prior to the main injuries.
And were you able to make an accurate estimate of the time of death?
Well, unfortunately not. If you recall, the weather was mild in March, decomposition was considerably advanced. But from the state of the internal organs, I'd say the victim had been dead 9 days. That is, he died at some time on March the 6th last year.
March 6th last year. Thank you, Professor Neeson.
Professor Neeson, you say death was due to shock and cerebral bleeding.
That's right.
Was death therefore instantaneous?
From the amount of blood extravasated, there would have been a slow rate of bleeding and of shock. He might have survived a short time, perhaps even as much as 15 minutes, but he would have been unconscious.
During the whole of that period?
Probably.
But not certainly.
I would have expected him to be unconscious.
Well, now, would you also expect a layman to be able to distinguish the nature and severity of the injuries you describe?
Well, I'm afraid I can't answer that because I'm not a layman. But I should hope that if a layman were in any doubt, he would have the common sense to consult a professional.
He might not be in doubt. He might not be aware that such injuries could be fatal. That is the point.
In matters of this nature, there's always room for doubt.
Quite so.
I mean, as far as the layman is concerned.
Let us turn to the question of these bruises. They were consistent, you say, with 2 blows from a blunt instrument.
That's right.
But in the course of their inquiries, the police never found such an instrument, Professor Neeson.
That's not uncommon.
In which case might these bruises not be equally consistent with a fall against some blunt object?
A simple fall would not have produced sufficient impact.
A simple fall, no, but how if this fall had been from some height and distance?
Well, in my experience, the injuries would be different in kind, more severe, for example.
Might not a person fall and sustain a glancing blow?
Well, not twice. If you recall, I said 2 blows with a large blunt instrument.
A person might collide with 2 objects in succession.
Well, a person might do almost anything, but it's not probable. This is my considered opinion, based on an examination of many comparable cases.
Thank you, Professor Neeson.
Professor Neeson, I repeat, to what do you attribute the death of Carter Singh Sandu?
2 blows with a large blunt instrument.
Yes. Now, are there any circumstances in which his injuries could have been caused by falling?
No.
Thank you, Professor Neeson.
Unless,
Unless what, Professor?
well, I was just going to say that there is an outside possibility that he was pushed. I mean, violently and deliberately pushed against some blunt protuberance.
Thank you, Professor. You're free to go if you wish. No doubt you can be contacted if the need should arise.
Thank you.
I shall now call Bernard Norton, my lord. Mr. Norton, you are a neighbour of the accused, Mohan Sandhu.
I live in the house opposite, number 11 Kirtson Avenue. But we don't have much to do with them, especially now.
Quite. Nevertheless, the sitting room window of your house affords an uninterrupted view of the front of the defendant's house at number 10, does it not?
We overlook their place. The avenue runs round the hill, if you follow me.
Yes, I do. Now, do you recall being at or near that window on the evening of the 6th of March last year?
That's when I did it. That was the night.
Yes, so, Miss Norton, would you just answer my questions, please? Were you standing at the window on that particular evening?
Well, of course. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Mr. Norton, counsel's questions are for the jury's benefit. They know nothing of these matters except what you and other witnesses tell them. Right. Now, were you standing near the window?
Yes, I was.
All right, Mr. Latimer.
I'm obliged to your lordship. Now, Mr. Norton, at what time was this?
Don't know. 8 maybe. I rang the police at 1:30, I know that.
Yes, well, one thing at a time, please, if you don't mind. Now, when you stood at that window, what did you see?
I saw him come out of the house carrying a coloured chap on his shoulder.
You saw the accused carrying a coloured gentleman. How did he do that?
Over his shoulder, fireman's lift.
Well, then what happened?
Well, Sandhu's car was standing at the gate. He dragged him into the back.
Dragged, Mr. Norton?
That's what I said. He heaved him onto the back seat.
Right, go on.
Well, then he closed the car door and went off round to his garage. Lays back a few yards. It's a double effort. He had it specially built. 3 cars he's got. No shortage of cash there, you know.
Yeah, quite. And what did he do next?
I don't know. I couldn't see through the double garage doors, could I?
Well, probably not. But he did come out of the garage again, eventually.
A few minutes later, he was carrying something wrapped up. Looked like a shovel or a spade.
Yeah, could the witness be shown Exhibit 3, please? Now, is that what you saw, Mr. Norton?
I think so, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Norton. Now, what did the accused do then?
He got into the car and drove away, fast. I mean, very fast. I mean, it all looked a bit fishy to me, definitely not normal. I went straight in the kitchen and told my wife, "There's something funny going on over there," she said. Apparently, she'd seen...
Mr. Norton, you must not tell us what your wife said or heard. Please tell us what you did.
Well, I telephoned the police and reported, exactly as I've described. Even gave them the car registration number. They said they'd look into it, but they didn't. I know damn well they didn't, because 10 days later, after the body was dug up, I had to ring up again. They didn't even have a note of my original call, not a sausage.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Norton.
Mr. Norton, you must be wary of casting aspersions on the officers involved in this case. There is no reason to suppose that they did not do their duty. No one has or will suggest otherwise, I think.
Certainly not I, my lord. Let me see now, Mr. Norton. You have a clear view of the Sandhu house from your sitting room window, yes?
That's it.
How far is the window from that house,
About 30 yards.
You're asking the jury to believe that you had a clear view over a distance of 30 yards at something after 8 o'clock on a winter's evening?
Spring.
Not until the 21st of March, Mr. Norton. There was no moon that night, was there?
I'll take your word for it. There's a street lamp.
But on your side of the avenue, I am informed.
It shines both ways, you know. I saw what I saw, don't you worry.
Well, we shall see what you saw. Where was Mr. Sandhu's car in relation to your position at the window?
Dead opposite, broadside on.
Yet you somehow managed to read the registration number, or so you said.
Correction, I said I gave the number to the police.
You were familiar with it?
Right.
Do you make a practice of memorizing all your neighbours' car numbers?
No.
Mr. Sandhu was of some special concern to you, then?
Not especially.
No? Well, we'll return to your relation with the defendant in a moment. You told my learned friend that he carried a coloured gentleman to his car on his shoulder. Now, that takes some doing. Head or feet first?
I'm not sure.
You must have seen the man's face to know he was coloured.
Yes. They must have carried him sideways.
Must come now, you're not sure, are you?
Oh, I am.
You see, I'm suggesting that the defendant was not carrying this man at all.
Oh, he was definitely.
I put it to you that it was something that you imagined.
Ridiculous.
Very well, over which shoulder did he carry him?
Right. Yes, right.
So he unlocked the door with his left hand, yes?
I don't know, the car blocked my view.
Wasn't it blocked before?
Of course not, I couldn't have seen him at all,
What
could
you
I?
saw and how you saw it, Mr. Norton, is for the jury to decide. This business of the spade, for instance. Now, may the witness be shown Exhibits 1 and 2? Just hold them up close together, please. Now, Mr. Norton, at a distance of 30 yards, in poor light with a partially obscured view, isn't that what you saw Mr. Sandu remove from his garage?
No, never. Nothing like it. It was a spade.
Yes, you seem certain enough now. But how is it you made no mention of that particular exhibit when you telephoned the police?
They weren't interested in the details then.
No mention was made in either of your telephone calls, no mention of shovels or spades or digging implements at all until your written statement on the 17th of March, 11 full days after the event and 2 days after the body of poor Carter Singh was found buried on Eastleigh Common.
That's when they asked for the details. That's when I told them.
But the discovery of the body was widely reported in the local press, was it not?
I don't remember offhand.
Oh, yes, Mr. Norton. Full details in the Evening Star of the 15th of March and in the Fulchester Echo of the 16th of March. Look at these, if you will. Did you, by any chance, read these reports?
I may have done.
I put it to you that with hindsight, you embellished your story to fit both the facts as you read them and your unfounded suspicions of the defendant.
No, sir. Why should I?
It happens to the best of us, Mr. Norton. We all embroider the truth from time to time. It's human nature.
Not me. Not on this occasion, anyway.
Not on this occasion? No. You've complained to the police and the local authority about the Sandus before, haven't you?
No, well, really, my lord.
No, I think the jury are entitled to know the answer to that question, Mr. Latimore.
As your lordship pleases.
Yes, my lord, I have complained. That is my right. I pay my rates and taxes. I've lived in this borough all my life. I want to see decent standards kept up. It's a duty, in my opinion.
Over the past 5 years, Mr. Norton, you have made continual, unsubstantiated complaints about loud noises, offensive smells, infected dustbins, contravention of the bylaws, obstruction, willful damage, common assault.
My lord, it is the accused who is on trial here and not this witness.
It's quite so, Mr. Latimore, but I think these allegations are perfectly proper.
Believe me, my lord, all these complaints were genuine. You can't say anything about his lot these days. The law's all on their side. But I've been proved right in the end. Because there he is, and that's where he belongs. A murderer, a con man, a liar.
Oh, that's all. That's quite enough, Mr. Norton.
I have no further questions, Lord.
Do you wish to re-examine Mr. Latimore?
No, my lord.
You may leave the witness box, Mr. Norton. Will you go and sit over there?
I call Surinder Singh Sandhu.
Even his own kind have turned against him.
Surinder Singh Sandhu.
Words on the card, please.
I swear by our Guru Nanak, the founder of the Sikh religion, that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Mr. Sandhu, would you prefer to give your evidence sitting down?
Thank you, I will stand.
I gather that you don't require the services of an interpreter.
Sorry, sir?
You speak English well?
Thank you, sir, very much.
All right, Mr. Latimore.
Thank you, my lord. You are Surinder Singh Sandhu of 10 Curzon Avenue, Fulchester.
I am, sir.
And that is the house of the accused, and you are his father, are you not?
Sir, I wish I were not, but I am. I am a Kikara.
Yes, quite. And you are also the uncle of Carter Singh Sandu, the deceased.
He was my youngest brother, only son. That is the truth.
Yes, and until the 6th of March last year, he was living at 10 Curzon Avenue with you and your son.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Sandhu, when did your nephew arrive here in Britain?
In December 1977, yes.
And by what means did he arrive?
Sorry, please?
I mean, how did your nephew travel to England?
By road, sir. Iran, Turkey, Belgium. Many people have taken his money, our money, to bring him quietly, you understand?
Yes, I understand. He came here, in fact, as an illegal immigrant.
His beard shaved, hair cut so.
Yes, and he came to you for help.
Sir, he came to his family here in Fulchester to me, the head of that family, at my son Mohan's house. Mohan said, no, no, no. He said it to his father, brother's son, Rab Sada Bahala Kare.
Yes, but you persuaded your son. I mean, in the event Carter did stay with you at your son's house.
I insisted, demanded.
But, Mr. Sandu, presumably you knew that to harbour your nephew or to help him in any way was against the law.
Yes, oh yes. For that I'm sorry. But to keep brother's son safe, that too is a law that I learned as child and shall die with it, which must be soon.
Yes, I see. So Carter came to live with you at your son's house?
For 3 months only. Then he was dead.
Indeed, yes. Now, during that time, what was the relationship between your nephew and your son?
Sir, they were first cousins, sir.
Oh, no, forgive me, Mr. Sandu, I haven't made myself clear. What I mean is, did they get on well together? Were they friendly?
Oh, no, not at all. Kartar was a friendly boy, always from child. But my son was a very angry man. With him, with me, with the world, everything. For 3 months, we made arguments. Mohan, Kartar, myself, the woman even. It was bad. Kina bura. My son made bad feeling.
Yes, I see. Now, 2 days before Carter died, was there an argument?
This is the truth. I told it in my declaration to the policeman.
Yes, quite. Now, who was present during that argument?
Myself, Kartar, my son, Manjeet, my granddaughter.
I see. Now, would you please tell us in your own words about that argument?
Yes, I will do that. Mohan came from work. He brought cards and paper for Kartar.
You mean false documents for his cousin?
Such thing, I believe so. And my son said, my nephew must leave. Go to safer place, prepare for him, out of danger. And again I said no. What safe? Send our Kartar to a strange house in a strange country alone? Rather, I Surinder Singh would leave.
Yes, and what did your son say to that?
Bad words, bad.
Yes, but exactly what did he say?
It is written to the policeman. Must I speak it also?
Well, I'm afraid that you must. To the best of your memory, what were his words?
It is difficult. A father to hear and speak such thing. Mohan, he said, Kartar must go, or there would be trouble for us. Sooner than that, he would kill him with his own hand.
That he would kill him with his own hands. And were these words spoken in the presence of your granddaughter? She was present?
Manjeet was there. She heard it all.
Well, now, Mr. Sandu, let us come to the night of the 6th of March. Did you see your nephew at all on that night?
2 times, sir. The first time, I took him tea to his room. After the crossroad, yes.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Sandu. After what?
Crossroads. It's a television serial, my lord.
Very good, yes.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Sandu. I'll remember that. All right, Mr. Attenborough.
Thank you, my lord. Now, you took your nephew some tea at about 6:30, that will be. Now, did you see him again later?
Yes. My granddaughter, Manjeet, she came to my room. We sit gossiping this and that.
Yes, at what time was this?
8 o'clock or more maybe, who knows. All in a moment, outside the stay place landing, we heard bang, bump, a noise very loud. We go to the door.
Yes. Now, if the jury would look at exhibits 6 and 7, please, that is, photographs and plans of the staircase, I think it would assist matters. Now, Mr. Sandu, from your position at the door on the landing, what could you see?
My son Mohan kneeling at the bottom, and Kartar was lying down on the step. So, very quietly.
Face down to the stairs?
Yes. I could not see his face.
Did he move or say anything?
No. My granddaughter runs quickly down, and Mohan is looking at us, speaking strangely and slow. He said he fell. We must take him to the doctor. His words, sir, his.
Your son said that he would take Carter to see a doctor?
Lies, sir. All of them. Everyone.
Well, what makes you say that, Mr. Sandu?
10 days, I'm asking, where is Kartar? Let me see him. Then the police find him. 10 days, he is already dead. Rab Sada Mehr Kare.
Yes, I see. Now then, on that night, the night of the 6th, Did you see the deceased being taken from the house?
Yes. My son and granddaughter lifted him, sir, through his arm, thus. Take him to the door, lifted him to the door.
Yes. Well, was he walking? I mean, were his feet on the ground?
Like a stick, dragging through the door.
I see. And 9 days later, that is on the 15th of March, your nephew's body was found on Eastleigh Common, and the day after that, the police called at your son's house to interview him in the course of their investigations.
They came, sir. They came to hear more lies. But I, Carter Singh Sandu, spoke the truth. I take his shame upon myself. Until now, I stand proud of him. Here, in the new country, he has made out plenty from little. But that time, I watched my brother's son dead, buried, rotten in the flesh. Hey, Rabba.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Mr. Sandhu.
Mr. Sandu, you told the jury just now that you were proud of your son until recently.
Yes, oh yes.
Did you ever see your son show violence to Carter Singh? Did you ever see him strike him, hit him?
Not in my sight.
So then, on the 6th of March, when your son told you that Carter had fallen, you had no reason at all to disbelieve him.
Sorry?
At that time, you thought he had fallen.
It is true.
Therefore, when your son and granddaughter carried him to the door, you thought he was still alive.
Hmm?
At that moment, at that time.
It is right.
You saw no weapon in the hall, on the stairs, no sign of struggle, no blood.
I was not looking for this.
Have you never asked your granddaughter for an explanation of these tragic events of 11 months ago?
What trust can there be in lies and daughters of lies?
Well, all right, but has she never volunteered an explanation? Mr. Sandu, would it be true to say that despite his material success, you feel very deeply that your son, the defendant, has failed both his family and his beliefs?
Yes, the world see it.
That is a serious offense in your eyes?
In the eyes of God also.
Then are you not now predisposed to think your son guilty without waiting for final proof?
Sir, I do not understand.
Well, let me try and put it to you in terms that you can understand. In your own mind, because you believe him guilty of breaking faith with his traditions, you have already judged him guilty of this murder of which he is accused.
A father knows his son. If the parent cannot know the child, who can? They know each other in the heart.
Join us again tomorrow when the case of the Queen against Mohan Singh Sandhu will be resumed in the Crown Court. Mohan Singh Sandhu is accused of the murder of his cousin, an illegal immigrant. The case you're about to see is a fictional one. The procedure, however, is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the public.
Dr. Grace, you are lecturer in morbid anatomy at St. Peter's Hospital.
I am.
And how long have you held that post?
4 years.
Have you had an opportunity to examine the remains of the deceased, Carter Singh Sandu?
I performed a second post-mortem.
And did you find it to be the body of a normal, healthy person?
Apart from the severe cerebral bleeding and adhesions to the right lung, indicating a mild but chronic bronchial condition, yes. I also observed very slight bruising of the left anterolateral ligament, a sprained ankle, that is.
In his evidence for the prosecution, Professor Neeson gave as the cause of death shock and brain hemorrhage. Do you agree?
Yes, and like the professor, I think the deceased could have survived 15 minutes, possibly longer. Indeed, I have known patients remain conscious after similar injury.
With some mobility?
A little. Patients frequently survive such injuries, of course.
You have a copy of Exhibit 4, I know, the photograph of the injuries. Professor Neeson thought these had all the appearance of being caused by 2 blows from a large, blunt instrument. Is that your opinion?
They had that appearance. It's a logical deduction. But in my experience, they could equally have been caused by a special type of fall or collision. If you care to examine copies of the photograph that I have here.
This will be Exhibit 5, my lord. The clerk has already given copies to the jury.
Oh, thank you. Please continue, Dr. Gross.
Exhibit 5 is, in fact, a photograph of serious injuries sustained by a rugby player who collided with a goalpost while scoring. I'm happy to say he survived the incident and still scores, occasionally.
That's most interesting. Is that rugby union or rugby league?
Oh, union, my lord.
That's most interesting. As a former hooker myself, it's most interesting. I think he's probably a wing 3/4.
I'm sure your lordship is right. But if you would compare these with Exhibit 4, the photograph of the deceased's injuries, you'll find them very similar indeed, even to the second area of bruising by the temple. You see, my footballer collided with the goalpost once during his dive, and again as he slid down. All over in a split second, but 2 distinct injuries. It can happen, you see.
You are suggesting, are you not, Dr. Grace, that Carter Sandu was not struck by some blunt instrument, but that he collided with an object similar in kind to your goalpost and in a similar fashion?
Yes, the newel post at the foot of the banisters. This was shown quite clearly yesterday in Exhibit 7, which you saw. It's mahogany and constitutes, in effect, a formidable fixed blunt instrument.
Yes. Have you got circumstantial evidence to support your theory, Dr. Gross?
Certainly, my lord. I took scrapings from the head of the post and had them analysed. These revealed traces of blood from the same group as the deceased. Also, 3 hairs which matched exactly those removed at the post-mortem. I have had slides prepared, also copies of the laboratory report. There's also a microscope available.
Yes. I suppose these will be Exhibit 8 and 8B, my lord.
Oh, dear. Just a minute. Can I just... Thank you very much. I don't think we need bother the jury with these until they retire, Mr. Lattimore.
No, my lord.
All right, Mr. Crawford White.
Thank you, my lord. Dr. Gross, if, as you suggest, Carter Singh Sandu's injuries were caused by a collision with the newel post, what, in your estimation, caused him to collide?
There are powerful reasons for supposing it to have been an accident.
What are these reasons, please?
In the first place, if the defendant intended to do his cousin any serious harm, a deliberate push would be a most uncertain way of effecting that. In the second place, the bruising to the left ankle, the sprain. Now, this indicates an inversion of the foot during the descent of the stairs. The deceased would then pitch forwards, but inwards, towards the banisters. Thirdly, may I go on?
Yes, do go on, Doctor.
A blow from a blunt instrument doesn't fit the medical evidence as I have observed it, leaving aside the fact that no instrument was found. You see, I concur with Professor Neeson. The full force of the impact came from the front. But such a blow, even if delivered up that flight of stairs, would, I think, have caused the recipient to reel backwards.
Yet 2 witnesses swear that he was lying face downward.
Exactly. Ergo, it was an unfortunate fall, an accident.
Thank you, Dr. Gross.
Now, Dr. Gross, you have been a fully qualified pathologist for, let me see, about 5 years, have you not?
7, in fact. After qualifying, I spent 2 years doing independent research.
Yes, well, be that as it may, your present post is your first as a pathologist.
That's perfectly true.
Your experience, therefore, is bound to be limited.
All experience is limited, obviously. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any point in gaining further experience, would there?
Nevertheless, Professor Neeson is a pathologist of many, many years' experience, is he not?
Any pathologist arrives at his conclusion through observation and analysis. Status doesn't come into it.
Really? But you will allow, however, that Professor Neeson conducted his post-mortem some weeks before yours.
Well, naturally. He was the Crown pathologist. I wasn't retained in the case until later.
In other words, the remains of Carter Singh Sandu were subject to another month or more of natural decay before you examined them. Your observations and conclusions, therefore, could not hope to be as accurate as Professor Neeson's.
Under modern conditions of morbid anatomy, the difference is marginal.
Is it? And as a young pathologist, you can confidently assert that Professor Neeson was mistaken about the causes of the bruises to the head of the deceased?
Professor Neeson isn't often wrong, I grant you. But on this occasion, I think he was. You see, I happen to have made a special study of bruises. My research was based on the severe bruises sustained by some professional sportsmen.
I must say, Dr. Gross, wounded sportsmen seemed a curious preoccupation for a lady.
My preoccupation was with the bruises and their accompanying limbs, my lord. The sportsmen were coincidental.
All right, Mr. Lettermore.
I'm entirely in your lordship's hands. Now, Dr. Grace, presumably your friend, the rugby football player, was going at a fair speed when he sustained these injuries you have so kindly
More than
shown
fair,
us.
yes, more.
More than fair, yes. Now, Professor Neeson was adamant. A fall could not have produced a comparable impact.
Fall is too mild a term. I'm saying that the deceased stumbled and fell and pitched headlong against that newel post.
Very well. Supposing it is conceded not that the deceased had fallen, but that he had been deliberately and violently pushed. Now, Carter Singh's shirt was torn, there were abrasions on his arms, consistent with the accused having seized the deceased and impelled him against the newel post.
But there were 2 injuries to the head. A strong man might have managed your impelled attack once. Twice is asking too much.
Well, I suggest to you, Dr. Gross, that an angry, passionate man can do almost anything in the heat of the moment.
Yes. Do you wish to re-examine Mr. Crawford White?
No, thank you, my lord. I call the defendant Mohan Singh Sandhu.
I swear by our Guru Nanak, the founder of the Sikh religion, that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
तूने साउंड खा दी है ये जरूर निभानी है.
You are Mohan Singh Sandhu of 10 Curzon Avenue, Fulchester?
I am.
And are you a clothing manufacturer by trade?
Yes, I have a small factory here in Fulchester, employing only 30 people, including office staff.
Who's been looking after that while you were on remand, Mr. Sandhu?
My son, sir, and my daughter Manjeet also. The workers are also most helpful.
A well-established business, it seems. But you weren't always well-established, were you, Mr. Sandhu?
Only since 72, that's all. When I first came here from the Punjab in 59, I came alone with nothing. I worked as a porter in a warehouse and shared a room with 5 other men. 7 years it took me to bring my wife and children over, one by one, saving every penny.
And you've lived and worked in the United Kingdom for 20 years.
20 years. And for what? For this? After 11 months in prison, I still can't believe this is happening. I sit here and watch you argue, looking at pictures and making jokes about rugby football. Yes, it is a kind of a game. But it is not a game. It is my life. Or if it is a game, then I know I am losing. I can't win.
This is an ordeal for you, Mr. Sandhu. We all realize that, but I'd like you to tell the ladies and gentlemen of the jury something about your home and family here in Fulchester.
It is a big house, I suppose, in a very nice area. We are a big family, so we needed a big house. My oldest son lives in a self-contained flat above with his wife and children. My second son is away studying at Teachers College, and my third son is also away in the Air Force. The youngest boy is a student at Fulchester High School, and my daughter Manjeet studies at Fulchester Polytechnic. There is, of course, my wife. She is semi-invalid heart condition. And then there is Babaji, my father.
Mr. Sandhu, you must not interrupt. And with respect, these proceedings are to take place in English.
Sorry, sir.
Yes. What language is that you're speaking?
Punjabi. Punjabi.
I see. All right, Mr. Crawford White.
Thank you, my lord. Now, can you remember when your cousin, the deceased, first came to live at your house?
I cannot forget it, sir. It was December the 16th, 1977. I should never have allowed him to come to live in our house. It was a weakness, sentimental weakness. If I hadn't, all this would never have happened.
But as I understand it, you sent him the money to make his way here as an illegal immigrant.
Yes, that's right, but I wrote to him and begged him not to come to our house. Help I could give, willingly. But to have him stay at our house, an illegal person?
It was a serious offence, you realise that?
Of course. Mohan Singh is a name, or was a name, respected in this town. My biggest account is with the council, uniforms and other garments. Nice chap, Sandhu, reliable fellow, and so on. Now, I could not afford, my family could not afford to have any troubles with the police.
All the same, your cousin did come to stay with you, didn't he?
Babaji insisted, my father. And as the head of the family, I respect him still. So against my judgment, I agreed to let my cousin stay in our house.
And of course he did, for 3 months. Now, what effect did that have on you and on your family?
Every day, every single day, there were quarrels. Always about the same things. Family duties, religious obligations, and so forth.
Do you remember a quarrel between the three of you on the 4th of March last year? Your daughter was also present, I think.
That was the Saturday before. Yes, I remember. I came home late from the factory, and I told my cousin that he must leave at once.
Had you settled on somewhere else for him to live by then?
No, I was still searching. You see, 2 weeks before that, I had bought some false documents for him. Insurance, passport.
How much did you pay for these documents, Mr. Sandhu?
£100 in advance and £100 on receipt.
A considerable sum. This was a gift to your cousin?
Yes, I gave them to him on that Saturday.
Oh? Why did you wait those 2 weeks?
Well, you see, my plan was to find a room or flat for him first. The gift would be given only after he left us.
Joganira.
I see. It was intended as an inducement for him to leave. What made you change your plan on that Saturday?
It became urgent that he leave immediately.
Why?
See, it was late afternoon. The factory was shut, and I was working alone. This man comes to my office. I have never seen him before or since. And he says to me that he has information that I have an illegal immigrant staying in my house. And he threatens to go to the police unless I give him £50.
What was your response?
I was confused, frightened, because you see, never in my life have I had any trouble with the law. So I took £50 out of my office cash box and gave them to him. He went away, but he said that he would be seeing me again.
Did you understand that as another threat?
Of course.
Well, what did you do about that?
Well, what could I do? I mean, I have a little money, yes, but I'm not a rich man. And these rascals, once they start, they don't know where to stop. And still Kartar would not be safe. So I went home and I told my cousin that he must leave immediately for his own good as well as mine.
Mr. Sandhu, this is most important. That Saturday night, at the end of your argument with your father and your cousin, did you say words to this effect? Kartar must go or there will be trouble for us all. Sooner than that, I would kill him myself.
I might have done, but it was not meant. It was merely to strengthen my argument, to make him go.
Yes, I see. But he didn't go, did he? He was unwell. He'd had a cold for a few days, and your father objected.
Again, I gave in, you see, like a dutiful son. But on that Monday, I decided to take Kartar away without my father's knowledge.
Will you now tell the jury what happened the night your cousin died, the 6th of March?
Well, you see, I came home from the factory at about 7:30. I spoke to my daughter Manjeet and asked her to keep Babaji occupied. She agreed. So I went to Kartar's room and I explained everything to him. This man we spoke of, the threats, the dangers, and Babaji's stubbornness and all of that.
How did he react to that?
Very frightened, naturally.
Yes, and what then?
I helped Kartar to get dressed and packed some clothes in a case.
Where did you intend taking your cousin?
Just temporary, to a hotel. The King's Arms in Tollington. All kinds of trade people use that for business. It seemed suitable.
Go on, please.
We came out of Kartar's room, and I was carrying his case in my right hand, and he was leaning against me, against my left arm, and walking slowly, a little weak. Halfway down the stairs, he seemed to slip sideways, like this. I could feel him falling forwards. So I grabbed at him, dropping the case, and I took his shirt, but it tore away, and he went falling down, his head hitting the round post at the end. Loud and sharp, the noise of an axe striking.
What happened next?
Well, he landed on his face, hitting the stairs once again. And I slid down to him I knelt beside him. There was blood here. And he lay very still.
At that time, how seriously did you think he was hurt, Mr. Sandu?
I cannot tell. I couldn't tell. I remember saying to myself, he is hurt, he will need a doctor, there will be questions asked, a hospital, police even. What can I do? Then Manjeet, my daughter, ran, and I could hear Babaji calling. So Manjeet and I, together, we lifted Kartar with his arm around my neck, thus. And then he moaned and seemed to be standing on his feet partly.
He made some sound and actually stood or half stood on his feet. You're certain of that?
Oh, yes. Half walking. I could never have carried him otherwise. Anyway, I took him alone all the way to my car, picking up the case also. Manjeet I sent to keep Babaji happy. Babaji seemed not to notice the case.
Where were you taking your cousin?
As planned, to the hotel. I intended to bring a doctor, if necessary, a private doctor.
Let me get this quite clear. At that point, how badly did you think he was hurt?
I don't know. I hoped not badly.
Did you say anything to him? Did he say anything to you?
I may have spoken his name, but he did not answer.
And you drove off straight away?
No, first I went to the garage to get a car rug to wrap around my cousin. It was a cold night, and an umbrella in case it should rain once we got to the hotel.
A car rug and an umbrella, the exhibits on the table there?
Yes.
And then you drove to the hotel?
That was my intention. I swear to God. Anyway, I drove along Curzon Avenue and into the Fulchester Road. And I could see my cousin in the back, sitting in the mirror.
Sitting?
Not long. There was this breathing sound, and he was gone from the mirror. So I stopped the car and leaned over to him. His eyes were staring open, his mouth open too. And so I put my hand under the rug and through the tear in the shirt. I could not feel his heart. I could not feel him living at all.
You were convinced that your cousin was dead?
Oh, yes, I knew. And through my fault, if I had not been seeking to send my cousin away, he would be alive now. I am not a bad man or a bad Sikh. Why is it so hard for me to do the good thing? Why is it so hard for me to be a British and a Sikh? Even in death I could do no good to my cousin.
Could you explain what you mean by that?
Well, you see, in death a Sikh is burned according to certain rites. Some hymns are sung. The Granth, our holy book, is read. Now, with false documents to his name, how could all this be done? To do all this, one would have to tell the authorities who he was, where he came from, and what help was that to him or to us, his family. English law did not recognize my cousin when he was alive. Why should it care? Why does it care now that he is dead?
It comes to this then, that you believed that you had no option but to keep your cousin's death a secret.
There was no other way. I knew of a small place near my home, some woods by the railway. So I I got this small spade from the boot of my car.
Just a minute. How did that happen to be there?
A precaution. I was caught in bad snow the winter before last.
Carry on, please.
So I pulled my cousin out of the car and dragged him through the fence. And I dug a small trench, amongst the trees. 2 trains passed while I dug. And the whole world seemed to be watching me. Anyway, I pushed my cousin into that trench, and last of all,
Yes?
I couldn't look. So I just threw some earth down upon my cousin and muttered whatever words of prayer I could remember from the Sola. And I went back to the car praying. No one saw me. It was pouring with rain.
And then you drove home?
Just before 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Mr. Sandu.
Mr. Sandu, these false passports and insurance cards which you purchase at £200 a time, I assume that you have a bank statement or some other record of that payment, yes?
The police have seen it.
Then we have this mysterious blackmailer who came to visit you alone on the 4th of March and to whom you gave £50. You have a record of that transaction too, yes?
No, it was personal cash.
We only have your word, therefore, that this visit did in fact take place.
Unfortunately.
Most unfortunately. I suggest that you invented this sinister stranger to make this improbable story of yours rather more plausible.
I do not tell lies, sir.
Your father has testified that you lied to him.
But that was to protect my family.
Very well. Now let us come to the night of the 6th of March. Did you tell your cousin that you were taking him to the King's Arms Hotel at Tollington?
Yes.
And you had no doubt booked a room?
I didn't think it was necessary.
You are telling the jury that you took your sick cousin away into the English countryside on a cold, wet winter's night with no certain place for him to sleep?
Oh, but the King's Arms usually has room.
Really? Well, now let us come to this question of a doctor. You never, in fact, contacted a doctor, did you?
Well, there was no time.
You mean there was no point? No point, Mr. Sandhu, because you knew, did you not, that when Carter Singh left your house on that night, that he would need nothing more than 6 feet of damp earth which your handy little spade would provide for him on Eastleigh Common.
What are you saying?
Join us again tomorrow when the jury will reach its verdict in the case of the Queen against Mohan Singh Sandhu in the Crown Court. The case you're about to see is a fictional one. The procedure, however, is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the public. Mohan Singh Sandhu is accused of the murder of his cousin Carter Singh Sandu, an illegal immigrant. He is now being cross-examined by the prosecution.
Mr. Sandhu, I suggest that Eastleigh Common had already presented itself to you as a burial place long before your cousin's death.
No.
Then why did you take a spade with you?
But the spade was already there in the car.
But one witness has sworn that he saw you take it from the garage.
He is mistaken.
Well, now, Mr. Sandhu, I've known many experienced motorists in my time, but very few of them carried spades in their toolkits.
But the radio advised it against bad weather.
I see. Well, now, tell me, in the car, how did you know that your cousin was dead?
I have said I felt him, his heart.
Yes, but you're not a doctor. Only a doctor can decide that.
In such circumstances, how could I bring a doctor?
How could you not? Your own cousin who depended on you, trusted you, and yet, in a matter of minutes, you dismissed him as dead and proceeded to bury him.
But there was no help for it. I was desperate.
Yes, I don't doubt that you were desperate, Mr. Sandhu. Neither do I doubt that you knew that your cousin was dead, because not 20 minutes previously, you had made a murderous and premeditated attack upon him, had you not?
No, why must you speak these things?
Now, you yourself told my learned friend that you had arranged for your father to be out of the way while you took your cousin from the house.
But that was to stop Babaji here from making a fuss.
Well, I suggest to you that it was all part of a carefully laid plan to murder your cousin and to dispose of his body afterwards.
There was no plan, no murder, nothing. He fell by accident as we came down the stairs.
Now, how could he possibly fall accidentally? You yourself testified that he was leaning on your arm.
Yes, so as he slipped, I tried to grab him.
Grab him? I suggest that you grappled with him, he struggled, and that is how his shirt came to be torn.
No. I tried to stop him as he slipped. I don't know how he slipped.
I think you know very well, Mrs. Sandu. You grappled with him, and then you pushed him.
I did not push him.
Very well, then. You struck him with a weapon which you had ready for the purpose.
What are you saying? There was no weapon.
I suggest to you that there was, and that you later on disposed of it.
No. This is ridiculous.
Well, now, Mrs. Sandu, your every action in this affair was marked by logical cunning and ruthless determination. Your evidence reveals that you gave yourself opportunity, time, and means both to commit a murder and to prevent your subsequent discovery. Do you really expect the jury to believe that all this was a matter of chance and accident?
Yes, everything. It was all an accident, his falling, everything.
A very convenient accident, Mr. Sandu, because you not only had time, opportunity, and means, but you also had a motive.
What? What are you saying?
I am saying that you had good reason to be rid of Carter Singh.
What reason? He was of my family. He was of my father's brother's son.
Nevertheless, he caused dissent. He cost you a great deal of money, and he was going to cost you a great deal more. He was a threat to an established, flourishing family and to an established, flourishing business.
That is why I wanted him out of my home.
That is why you wanted him dead?
No!
No further questions.
Mr. Sandu, all in all, how much do you think you spent on bringing Carter Singh here to Britain and assisting him?
Oh, I can't say. £2,000, maybe more.
Was that an outright gift?
The greater part of it, from our family here to our family in the Punjab.
Now, why did you go to all that trouble and expense?
Why? I did not ask why. He was my cousin. His people are poor. They're poor in a way that you cannot understand here in Fulchester. It was my duty and happiness to help them by helping him.
Thank you, Mr. Sandu. Has your lordship any further questions to ask the defendant?
No. You may return to the dock, Mr. Sandu.
I call Manjeet Kaur Sandhu.
Manjeet Kaur Sandhu.
Read aloud the words on the card, please.
This? No, I can't. Not this.
What's the matter? Has the witness been given the right card?
No, I haven't.
Oh, come along. Could we have the Sikh card, please, Mr. Collins?
That is the card she has, my lord.
What is it? Are you objecting to the Sikh oath?
Yes, I'm sorry to be a trouble, my lord.
No, that's all right. What do you want to do? Do you want to affirm?
Yes, my lord.
Could we have the other card, Mr. Collins?
I do solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
You are Manjeet Kaur Sandhu, the daughter of the defendant.
Yes.
The name Kaur is common to all Sikh ladies, is it not?
That's right, my lord. All girls are eventually given the name Kaur, which means princess. All boys Singh, which means warrior.
Yes, I'm obliged to.
You live at 10 Curzon Avenue, Fulchester.
That's
and
right.
I believe you're a full-time student at Fulchester Polytechnic studying soil sciences.
That's it.
Now then, how well did you know your cousin, Carter Singh?
Not very well. He only lived with us 3 months, And during that time, things were a bit fraught at home, to say the least.
When you say fraught, what do you mean? Arguments?
Now and then, but I meant the general atmosphere. Well, look, he was an illegal immigrant. Nobody spoke about it, but everybody knew, obviously, and reacted in different ways. Mainly, they tried to ignore it. But P.O., Daddy, he couldn't. He knew the score, and he was half out of his mind with worry. Babaji, my granddad, he made things worse by reacting as though he was a real old, what's the word, paterfamilias back in the Punjab.
Why did that make things worse?
Because it encouraged Carter to ignore the realities of his situation. He didn't have much common sense or go to begin with. He was always complaining or feeling poorly or something.
So your sympathies were with your father on the whole?
Yes, he was the only one trying to deal with the situation in a realistic way.
Given the pressure he was under, did your father ever threaten or behave violently towards Carter?
No, it's not his style. He hates arguments, and he's thought himself to be pretty thick-skinned over the years. You can't be successful and coloured in this country without that.
I'm thinking particularly of an argument between the four of you on the 4th of March last year.
Yes, I know the incident you mean. Daddy came back from the factory and tried to get Carter to leave, but he had one of his colds, and Grandfather made a scene, and well, nothing came of it as usual. Daddy did say something about Carter being better off dead if he was going to make a mess of things. But you have to be a bit melodramatic if you want to get something across to Babaji. Give him half a chance and he walks all over you.
Joga Neera.
See, this is only the 6th time he has spoken to me since P.O. was taken away on remand. In any case, Daddy had had a nasty shock that day. You couldn't blame him for letting off steam.
Oh? Did your father tell you about this shock?
Yes, some crook or other had come down to the factory that afternoon and started blackmailing him about Carter. He took £50 off him and threatened to come back for more.
And you had no reason to disbelieve your father's account?
Not in the slightest. Pio doesn't frighten easily, and he was definitely frightened. That sort of story is quite commonplace anyhow. Illegal immigrants and their families are being blackmailed all the time. It's big business. Some even say it's organized from back home, from India.
Look, you really must try and keep Miss Sandhu to the matters in hand, Mr. Crawford-Wade.
With respect, my lord, I was merely allowing the witness to tell her own story in her own way.
I'm only telling you what everybody knows, my lord.
Yes, but what everybody knows isn't necessarily evidence, you see, Miss Sandhu. Could you try and help, Mr. Crawford-Wade?
Certainly, my lord, certainly. We'll come straight to the evening of the 6th of March. Miss Sandhu, the evening of the 6th of March. You helped your father lift Carter Singh from where he lay at the foot of the stairs and carried him to the door. Now, how badly did you think he was hurt?
It seems awful to say it now, but not badly. I could see he had a nasty knock on the head, and he was dazed. But he was walking a bit and groaning, and as I said, he'd tend to make a fuss about his health. I fell down myself on those very stairs 2 years ago, but I was all right after a day in bed.
Did it occur to you that his injuries might be fatal?
It never crossed my mind. Daddy took him out through the door, and I thought, that's that. He'll be all right once he'd seen a doctor, and we'll be all right. We'd done as much as we could for him. Even Babaji seemed happy with the situation, after I'd coaxed him a bit. In fact, I thought the fall was a lucky accident, maybe, because I don't think Babaji realized we were actually taking Carter away when it happened.
Did you see your father again that night, Miss Sandhu?
Yes, about 10 it must have been. I heard the car come back. I'd been clearing up Carter's old room, then I'd gone down to the hall in case there was a mess there.
What did your father say when he came in?
I asked him if everything had gone all right. He said yes, but the doctor has advised Carter to rest for a few days.
How did you receive that news?
With great relief. And so did Grandfather at first.
During the next few days, did you have any cause to feel anxiety about your cousin?
Not in the slightest. After all, the idea was to keep him well out of the way because of the blackmail business.
When did you discover what had actually happened to your cousin?
After the superintendent and his friends came to see Daddy 10 days later.
Miss Sandu, can we make one thing absolutely clear to the jury? On the night that your cousin died, you and your grandfather came out onto the landing after the incident which had led to your cousin's death.
That's right.
And now, you yourself could not possibly have seen this incident.
No, I never said I did.
Indeed. But your position is that you are simply accepting your father's version of what happened.
Not simply, no. His version makes sense of what I myself saw a little later. I haven't heard a better one given here.
Would you believe it if you did? I mean, you are very close to him, to your father, are you not?
Yes, but I can still see him objectively.
Yes, but you admire him, you look up to him.
Why not? He's got intelligence, principles, and guts, and he works harder than any man I ever met.
Tell me, Miss Sandu, would you lie to help your father?
No, I would not.
For example, have you and your father got together to put a gloss on these horrific events of the 6th of March?
No.
You have been telling the truth here.
Of course.
You do know that you are under oath.
Yes.
An affirmation is still an oath. It is equally binding. I want you to be under no misapprehension about that.
My lord, I really must object. The jury have, after all, seen Miss Sandu take an oath of affirmation.
Yes, but Mr. Lattimore is entitled to ask whether it was taken sincerely.
I was merely pointing out the importance of telling the truth, my lord.
Very laudable. Let's get on, Mr. Lattimore.
Yes, certainly, my lord. Miss Sandu, you described to my learned friend how your cousin stood on his own feet and moaned when you helped your father to take him to the door as they were about to leave. Now, are you absolutely sure of that?
I'm sure. I was right next to him. I helped him to his feet.
And you did not consider his injuries to be serious?
Not really, no.
In that case, what on earth was all this mess which you told my learned friend you cleared up in the hall after your father had gone?
Nothing much. Some blood on the banister post and on the stairway. I sponged it away.
Nothing much. I suggest to you that you were removing evidence of a vicious attack upon your cousin which you knew might, indeed must, end fatally.
That's nonsense.
Did you, for example, remove the weapon with which this attack was made?
There was no weapon to remove. If there were one, my grandfather would have seen it.
Well, your grandfather, honest, observant man that he is, did not have time to register anything. Did you not hurry back up the stairs to stop him from interfering?
Daddy didn't want him making his usual fuss, no.
I see. Is that what Daddy whispered to you at the bottom of the stairs?
Yes.
What else did he tell you to do?
Nothing.
Did he not tell you to remove any evidence of his attack upon your cousin?
Qatar fell.
That, of course, is something that your father told you. Did he also tell you to clear out your cousin's room on that night?
No, that was my idea.
Your idea? Why?
Because I knew he had left the house for good.
You knew that he had left this life for good, and that all vestiges of his presence in the house had to be removed. Is not that the truth?
No, it's because my father was being blackmailed about Qatar.
Ah, yes, something else your father told you. Now, Miss Sandu, your cousin lay buried on a railway embankment for 10 days, and you appear to have taken no interest whatsoever, either in his whereabouts or in his condition.
I thought he was at the King's Arms Hotel.
But you knew that he had been hurt. Did you not wish to visit this injured relative?
No, we were not supposed to be seeing him anymore. I knew. I thought he was getting treatment.
Well, actually, you were told he was getting treatment by your father, whom you trusted so implicitly. And yet he knew all the time that Carter lay buried on Eastleigh Common because he had buried him there himself. Your father lied to you then, Miss Sandu, did he not?
He didn't want me to be involved.
And when did he eventually tell you the truth?
After the superintendent had interviewed him at the police station on the 16th of March. Yes.
This father, whom you admired, respected and loved, was taken to the police station, charged with murder, and then, and only then, confessed he had lied to you deliberately and consistently for 10 whole days. Lied to you, in whom he appeared to have such confidence. Now, what were your feelings at that moment, Miss Sandu?
I understand why he lied. I would have done the same. exactly the same, burying Carter and everything, if I'd had the courage.
Yes, but you didn't answer my question. What were your feelings at that moment?
I was hurt he hadn't told me the truth.
At that moment, did it not occur to you that he might also have lied 10 days earlier when he told you that Carter Singh had fallen down the stairs?
No.
You still believe that that was an accident?
Yes.
At that moment, as he admitted this terrible lie and the even more terrible interment on Eastleigh Common, there was not the faintest shadow of doubt in your mind?
I considered that possibility. I'm only human. I considered it and rejected it.
Rejected it? Rejected it at once?
Very quickly.
Such certainty, Miss Sandu, seems to argue something more than simple confidence.
Pardon? I don't understand.
I am suggesting, Miss Sandu, that you knew more than you now care to confess. I am, in fact, asking you whether you were a willing accomplice to this murder all along.
Miss Sandu, you needn't answer that question if you don't wish to.
I have nothing to hide. There were no accomplices or plots or anything like that. There was no murder. The whole wretched business has been a series of accidents. From the moment Carter came to our house, we were trapped. The situation, circumstances controlled us, not the other way around.
Well, now come, Miss Sandu. You have agreed, for example, that you plan to get Carter away from the house.
Yes, living there, he was a danger to himself and us. That's the situation I meant.
I put it to you that your father, with your help, attempted to escape from that situation by murdering Carter Singh.
You can't escape. We all know that. Every other colored person in this country is a suspect. So long as Immigration Act stays and illegal immigrants still think it worth the risk to come here, and the economy will have to get a lot worse before that changes.
Oh, now, come, Miss Sandu. This is a court of law, not the hustings.
You want to know who killed Carter Singh, don't you? Well, I'm telling you. Parliament, the government, the cabinet, the Home Secretary, the whole bureaucratic gang of you, guilty.
Look, Miss Sandu, you're not helping your father by adopting this disrespectful attitude.
I apologize, my lord, but my father has been a respectful man all his life. What help has it been to him? A little less respect, a little less duty. And yes, sir, no, sir, he wouldn't be sitting there waiting for you to punish him for something he didn't do.
Your father will not be punished unless he is found guilty. Now, have you any further questions, Mr. Lennon?
No, my lord.
Is that your case, Mr. Crawford White?
Yes, my lord.
You may leave the witness box, Miss Sandu. Members of the jury, before I ask you to retire, there are one or two points that I want to emphasize. There is only one charge here on the indictment, one only, and that is murder. During the course of this trial, you've heard certain references made to other illegal acts, but none of these matters need concern you in your deliberations, though you're entitled to take them into account in as far as they throw light on the other evidence which you've heard. Now, firstly, you must ask yourselves whether the deceased was killed by the accused or whether he died accidentally. If he was killed by the accused, you must go on to consider the intention of the accused. You've heard the evidence placed before you by learned counsel. Was it the intention of the accused to kill his cousin, or at least to cause him really serious harm? For unless you are convinced of that intention, you cannot find him guilty of murder. If you think that the accused killed his cousin, but did it accidentally, intending only, for example, to hurt him slightly, then your verdict should be one of manslaughter. And lastly, don't forget that you're entitled to consider your own impressions of the accused and other witnesses while giving their evidence. Did he or she strike you as a reliable witness? Was his or her manner that of a truthful person? These are proper matters for you to reflect upon. Remember, it is for the prosecution to prove their case beyond all reasonable doubt. If there's reasonable doubt, you must bring in a verdict of not guilty. Now, will you please retire, elect a foreman to speak for you, and consider your verdict.
The prisoner will stand. Members of the jury, will your foreman please stand? Just answer the question yes or no. Have you reached a verdict on which you're all agreed?
Yes.
Do you find the defendant, Mohan Singh Sandhu, guilty or not guilty of murder?
Not guilty of murder, but guilty of manslaughter.
वही गुरु जी मर्जी है.
The cases in Fulchester Crown Court are fictitious, but the jury is composed of members of the general public.